Hi guys, I hope this video turns out. I am using my Lenovo IdeaPad, a computer I picked up in Peru about a year ago. I wasn't going to start my first video of Metaphysical Soul Speak like this, but some things have come to light. I'm a little freaked out, to be honest. I've been dealing with this Ascension thing for a while. And in silence, mostly. I've told a few of my friends. They think I'm crazy. Obviously, everyone that is on this enlightened path feels crazy because we're all surrounded by people who are still asleep, basically. The Mandela effect, the split sky stuff, all of that's been coming to my awareness lately a little more than usual. And I think that this past week it's just been blowing up for me as far as the Mandela effect in my own life. And I'm going to explain why in a second here. Okay, so I live in Cuenca, Ecuador. I'm originally from California. And I've been traveling Central and South America now for close to 5 years, on and off. And I've lived here in Ecuador for 4 months, and I was in Peru for a year and a half before this, and before that, Colombia. And when I was in Bogota, I had some issues with altitude, a little bit, but I didn't realize it was altitude. I didn't know anything about altitude illness, altitude sickness, nothing. I slept a lot, but it was like, okay, you know, maybe I'm just tired here because it's cold. You know, I was there in the rainy season. But the thing is, I was recently asked a question by my youngest son, and I'm traveling with my children. My youngest son is 15, and he said, you know, I think we need to go to a hyperbaric chamber. Hyperbaric chamber, we've been in high altitude for months now. And he's like, yeah, but I feel a little strange, like I'm lacking oxygen. And I feel like when we first got to Cusco, when we went there for a few weeks, and we were all very tired. And I'm like, you know, I've been having those symptoms too. Like, not really the altitude sickness, but the altitude, just being affected by altitude. Not in the way where we're going to drop dead tomorrow. But my oldest child just turned 18, and he said the same thing. He said, you know, I feel it's possible that we need oxygen also. Like, maybe we should go get treatment. And I'm like, yeah, it's weird. I've been feeling this too. A little bit more edema, a little more mental clarity isn't as much as it should be. Also, we've been having issues with sleeping a lot, just like in Bogota. So, and this is where the Mandela effect comes in for me. Now, when I moved to Cuenca, Ecuador, and we live here now, when we first moved, I looked up the altitude because I was concerned about altitude sickness. And I knew that it takes a while to get used to, and not everyone can live here or deal with that. But I had spent a month in Arequipa, Peru, which was at 7,680 feet when I was there. And Cuenca, Ecuador is the same. In fact, it was when I looked it up on all the websites, and I read a bunch of different things, and one website said it was between 7,600 and 7,800. Other websites said it's always around 7,800, but I never read anything that said it was ever above 7,900 feet above sea level, above, you know. So when this discussion with my kids came up, they said, we feel like we're at high altitude. And suddenly, like, it's been happening slowly for like the past month, but the past week especially, they've been feeling it, and I have too. And I'm thinking, no, it's ascension symptoms. I know you guys don't believe in this. You think I'm nuts. We're all ascending. We're all going to the 5th dimension. We're all going up, baby. Don't worry about it. But today, I looked up the elevation of Cuenca, Ecuador, and today it says that it's at 8,300 feet, which is what? Between, 500 and 800 feet higher than where I have been living for 4 months. Now, when we moved here, I told the kids, Denver, Colorado has always been the mile high city, they called it. I even joked with my friend Clifton, if you had sex in Denver, are you still part of the Mile High Club? It's a joke because, you're in the Mile High City, right? Because, anyway. But when we moved here, I said, it's one better. It's one better. It's one better than the Mile High City because we're 2 miles above sea level here. Well, now we're 2.5 miles. And all the websites I had checked 4 months ago that said we're only like around 2 miles above now say 8,300 feet. So I know I have just hopped a timeline. And it's not that much of a big deal because I'm used to hopping timelines, but now it's affecting my health and the health of my kids. And now we're going to have to go tomorrow to get oxygen treatments because we've hopped a timeline in which the earth has expanded, maybe. I don't know. I mean, has anyone I mean, it's different than when you go to your closet and you see a jacket that's slightly darker in color than it used to be, or a shirt you always knew was red is now orange, or your best friend didn't call you yesterday, it was 3 days ago. We're used to those weird little hops where it's just slightly different. But I mean, I'm 0.5 mile above sea level more than I was like a week ago. And it's kind of freaking me out. I wasn't going to start my Metaphysical Soul Speak show on this topic, but I was just moved to do it today because of that. So this is kind of technically my welcome video to my new channel. And this is based on my old radio show that I had, Metaphysical Soul Speak, that when I was still living in California in the Bay Area, and I started traveling all over Northern California, and then I moved to Guatemala with my kids. I had this show back then, and I'm hoping once a week to start getting out videos that are the throwback from when it was just radio and not video. I will add pictures in, so it won't be totally boring while you're listening. But I think the shows back then are just as valid as they are now, and some of them are wild topics like this. But I go into things like Ascension and Twin Flames and bringing God into your everyday life, basically. And I'm hoping I could start doing that either, if not this week, if not tomorrow for Throwback Thursday, maybe next week. But I'm trying to get it all. I mean, my plan was to do this in January, and the Ascension symptoms started to hit and hit hard. And any of you who are out there going through this with me, we're all doing this as a collective whole, yeah? Not everyone's even aware of it. They think that they have the flu or a cold or something, but we're going through something. And it's unbelievable. It's incredible. I mean, at night, I'm collapsing timelines. I am going through all of this healing. I'm a healer. And as you get to watch my show more, you'll understand more about who I am as a person and what I do. And I'm also going to have my channel on travel and give practical advice on the Central and South American countries. And as I travel more in the future, there'll be more about that as well. And I'll include more pictures. But I don't know. This Mandela effect thing has been weird, and it's been a fun journey for me. But this week with the altitude, it did not ever occur to me that we could live at one level and then the earth is bigger suddenly. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this even ties in with in Guayaquil, Ecuador, on Secure Team and a few other channels on YouTube. They have talked about how the oceans freaking disappeared. So that would obviously raise me up in elevation when the sea is going down. But I don't think that's this. I don't think that all those websites, all those people went back and said, oh, look, the sea has disappeared. Let's change the elevation. How would that even be important to anyone to do? Has anybody noticed that they're no longer at the same elevation? It's the weirdest question I can ask. Maybe not. We'll see in time how many weird questions I can ask you. But I want to know from you if you've experienced this. If you live in high elevation, then suddenly you gain like an altitude illness situation where you're feeling weird symptoms of that. Maybe it's not all ascension. Maybe the earth itself has expanded. It's bigger. So now we're higher. I don't know. I don't know. My degree's in psychology and human sexuality. I don't have a degree in science. I've studied a lot of science, but I don't know. I don't have answers for this, but it's getting weirder and weirder out there, guys. All I could say is hold the light, hold the love, find things that inspire you in your heart. Let's keep going, baby. Let's keep going. Anyway, welcome to my new Metaphysical Soul Speak channel. I'm glad to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, I need subscribers. First video. All right. Take care, guys. And look forward to having a lot of interactions with you guys. All right. Have a good day.